Are you joking me? Go. Hey, Monster. Thanks for that. And the Mythical Stranger just joined. Okay, so let me... log into my TikTok now that I've got broadband. What's the best app to start trading with? I recommend Dash Trader. There's a link in my link tree for Dash Trader. It depends. If you're just looking to get an idea of the market, get yourself onto TradingView and start there. And you can paper trade with TradingView. But if you're looking at day trading, if you're looking at actually making a living, then you need a direct access software like Sterling Trader, like TC2000, or what I use, Dash Trader. Dash Trader Pro. So, cheers, guys. We've managed to get profitable. I'm going to have a look at what's moving, what's not moving. T-stamp. Oh, volume. Can't really trade that. Lack of volume. That brand's lack of volume. Veru is the top. Still the top one. What a great day to trade today. I mean, look at the wider market. So the S&P 500 is having a great day, 2% up. Not as good as the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq, 3.3% up on the day. Lovely day for the Nasdaq. The Russell Index, which is the small cap index, which is pretty much very relevant considering it's small caps that I trade mostly. That's also 3.2 up. So it's been a very bullish day across the board. Veru's been, whilst it's also been, it was a thorn in the side to start the day. It's very much I've traded this thing. It looks like it's tartan. It's supposed to be that's supposed to be a green candle, but it looks tartan. Yeah, Veru really has been the absolute joy to trade today. Volume, absolutely. There's no trade without volume. Two things you need for to set up for a trade is volatility and volume. If you've got no volume, you need the volatility because the volatility increases the range. So you basically, those big range candles that you can take a move 20, 30, 40 cents, that comes from the volatility. If you've got no volatility, then there's no range to take advantage of. But for a pattern breakout trader like myself, for those pattern breakouts to be reliable, you need the volume. So if you're getting a bear flag or a bull flag or an ascending wedge or a flat top breakout, whatever the pattern may be, let's say you take a flat top breakout. As we get the breakout, you're going to get faked out more often than not if you don't have the volume. So you need the volume for that continuation and that follow through. So absolutely 100% monster, you need volume. Well, I'll drink to you then, Alistair. I've got a nice Bordeaux. It's gone through the aerator as well. Well, look, the engagement can come from both sides. Cash flow. If there's more engagement on YouTube, then I would engage the YouTube chat. You've got the YouTube chat to yourself at the moment, it looks like. So you've got my attention there. You're seeing lots of greens. I'm seeing 100% greens at the moment. Five companies traded, five greens. Now, given the fact that Veru we were 7,000 down on Veru to start the day, the fact that we got green just before I left the stream last time, we went red again when I ended to get the broadband installed, but then we continued trading it afterwards, and so we've had $10,000 swing on Veru. So that can only be put down as a good day so far. I say so far because I'd like to get more, but I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to wait for the good setup. And Veru 1250 is a level that I marked on the 5 minute. On the 5 minute. 1250. Yeah. I've got a lot of resistance levels here. $12.30 seems to be the low of that, but $12.50 is a key level. Yes, I'm live on TikTok right now too. Cashflow. I'm live on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube all at the same time. It absolutely does make such a difference, Alistair. I've got a penchant at the moment for Valpolicella Ripasso, an Italian red, and it's lovely. That's my current favourite red wine at the moment. It's Ripasso. And you stick that through the aerator as well. Even the good quality wines I'll stick through the aerator. I mean, they don't make much difference to the real quality ones, but the poor wines, I say poor wines, the cheap wines, you stick them through the aerator and they're actually palatable. Hey user, thanks a lot for that, Darren. So at least somebody on TikTok sending me some likes, all 3 of them. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate that. You and Ben are the only ones. I mean, even Monster and Alistair have been engaging with me. I haven't got a like off them yet. So, I mean, come on. Let's see if we can get this. Let's see if we can get this stream pushed out to the masses. So the more engagement you get on a stream, the way the algorithm works with TikTok, the more engagement you get on a stream, the more it pushes it out to Mr. Randomer down the road. So you stick loads whenever you're free. If you're a little bit bored, if I'm not trading, just keep tapping the screen. Give me lots of love hearts and lots of likes, and it'll just add to the algorithm. It'll push it out more. What did I turn around on today? Veru. I was down on Veru 7,000. I've had a $10,000 swing on Veru. It's been so easy to trade. I stopped trading it a while back, but even when it was selling off, it was relatively easy to trade as well. I mean, once it started selling off, I just traded it on the 5-minute chart. I didn't bother with the 1 minute. Just traded it on the 5-minute chart, and the setups are more reliable on a 5-minute. You don't get such good entries, but the hey Michael, well, I'm having a good day. This is the best day this week, Friday. I had a good feeling about today when we started off, and those who joined my stream earlier will verify that I was saying on the stream, even at $7,000 down, I was saying I've got a good feeling about today. Today's going to be a good day, and it is, and it was, and it will be. Well, before you join TikTok and give me some likes to boost the algorithm cash flow, hit the thumbs up button on YouTube while you're there, because that boosts the YouTube algorithm. So if you're on TikTok, nip across to YouTube and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're on YouTube, nip across to TikTok and tap the screen 10 times. How's that? I don't know too much about Twitch and how you boost the algorithm with Twitch and Twitter. There's no real algorithm at all. That's just whatever. But there you go. Yeah, I'm on broadband. I've got my fiber to the door now. I'm on fiber, not just broadband, fiber broadband. So we shouldn't have any interruptions to the stream. We shouldn't have any intermittent, dodgy, whatever it is. Actually, can you see that? Okay, yeah, it's close enough. I'll just move it slightly. There we go. That's better. It helps me. The broadband helps me as well, because I don't have to worry about the connection dropping while I'm in a trade. I was always worried about it, and that happened a couple of times. And it's like the time of sales isn't moving, the price action isn't moving. There's nothing changing on level 2, and I'm like, the connection's dropped, and I'm actually in the trade. So it kind of throws your concentration out of the door. So hopefully, now that I've actually got broadband, maybe I'm going to put that down to why I've been trading so badly this last 2 weeks, is because I've been trading on mobile data. That's what I'm going to do. That's my excuse. First day I've got broadband and I'm profitable. I'm green. So I'm going to put it down to the lack of broadband as to why I was trading so badly this last 2 weeks. Poor tradesman blames the tools. Absolutely, I'm no tradesman. I'm like, I was born and raised working class. I work bloody hard to elevate myself into middle class. So I'm no tradesman. I pay the tradesman. Go and get him. Go and get him. You don't even know you're barking at, do you? Strange dog. Yeah, go and get him. Thanks for that cash flow. Appreciate that. Yeah. If I was a tradesman, I would be the third best. Clovis Health. Let's have a look at Clovis Health. Having a good day today. So Clovis is up 15%, almost 15%. Not huge for Clovis standards. It's not huge on the relative volume. You can see with all the blanks and the dojis here that it's lacking volume, but it's doing okay. 264. Shut up now. You've had your say. I'm talking. I'm the gaffer, not you. I'm talking. Have some manners. Yeah, it's having a really good day today. It's the first, if you're looking at a turnaround on the daily, look at it on the daily. It's the first candle in a long time to actually make a new high. Well, actually, no, it's not, because we had this one where it gapped up and then sold off all day early this week. And what did I say to you? Do you want a backhander? Do you want a backhander? But yeah, it's looking good, looking good today. But then again, Clovis tends to trade very similar to the wider market. So the wider market, if this is Clovis, let's look at the SPY. You see what I mean? Very similar pattern, very similar chart. Granted, Clovis has a little bit more volatility because it's an individual stock, so the candles are a bit wider, but the movement is pretty much the same. Clovis tends to, because it's a larger float stock, a larger cap stock, even though it's a smaller price stock, it tends to trade along with the wider market. It's having a good day along with the wider market. So we will go back to Veru as the top gapper today, top gainer. Would I enter at $3 on Clovis? I've just come out of Clovis now. You could have asked me that question while I was in there. I've got to go back to it now. Would I enter at $3? $3 is quite a way away. Look at it on the 60-minute. But $3 is up here. So you'd be a long. It's not going to get to $3 today. It's a long way away. So would I enter at $3? It depends on what the action looks like when it gets to $3. I mean, it started at 230, so it's got to move 70 cents, which is a good 35% of its 35% movement on the day for it to get to $3. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's go back to the 1 minute. I don't apologise. That's you know, you're entitled to the questions. Happy to answer. If I'm not trading, it's because I'm on my second glass of wine, celebrating on 5k up already. If we get some nice momentum into the close, into the weekend, it would be nice. But to be fair, I've not really seen a lot on the scanners today. I've really been trading previous runners and the momentum that they've been on, continuation momentum, with the exception perhaps of Veru. 99 million shares traded today with Veru. Here we are. And it's still looking strong. We're not quite at $17 territory yet, but we could get there. Probably not today, but maybe next week. Veru's been a good start. It's been quite volatile. You know, we've had some good range across Veru for the last month, since early April. Yeah, some people are putting this volatility down to the Fed's rate hike. I'm not so sure about that. Well, the taxman's gonna love me, but you know, thank goodness that I don't have to pay him till the end of the year. So I've submitted my tax return for this last year. So the tax year in Ireland is April to March. So I've submitted last year's. Well, I counted submitted last year's, but it doesn't have to be paid for for quite some time. So it'll all come good. And by the way, there's ways of reducing your tax liabilities. Obviously, there's a lot of expenses. You write all your expenses off. Your biggest losses, you can offset them against your biggest gains, etc. The wash rule prevents you doing that if you do it intraday. But there are ways of reducing your tax liability. So, for example, I trade under a company, and this is one for yourself as well, Alistair. Let me have a look at a firm. No, that's not a flat top. It's moving up. So we've got right now we've got a bit of a dip, with a V bottom there. So the top of this is 23.39. So call it 23.40. With double tops now. So this is a double top. And a double top can be quite bearish. So what you tend to find with a double top is that it can come the other way. So what you want with a double top like that, so let's see, is pulling away. So double top looks like an M. If you look at this as a bit of a wobbly start to the M, then the down, and then the other way down. So this could be a good sign to short if it's a double top. However, if it goes back up and touches the top again on more than one occasion, it then becomes a bit of a flat top. So that's what you're looking for there. On the 5 minute, you've got a bit of an argument for it to be a flat top because it's coming back up to touch it again. But it has to touch it more than 3 times for it to be a flat top. Twice, it's a double top. 3 times, you then get an out. So you want it more than 3 times for your flat top. So go back to what I was saying, Alistair. If you're trading under a limited company, don't take a wage, don't take a salary from the company, because you'll get charged income tax on that. You'll pay corporation tax, which wherever you set your company up is a lot lower than income tax. And what you do is you take either monthly or quarterly dividends based on your profits. And your dividend withholding tax is substantially less than income tax. So it's just a way to minimize your exposure. You've probably got I'm sure you've got an accountant already, but speak to your accountant about that, because I know you mentioned the other day, Alistair, in the Discord that you'd set up your company. But look to because should be the sole shareholder. So any profits, you can take as much profit as you want as a dividend, as opposed to taking a salary, and the tax benefits are better than actually taking a salary. Just the same. Well, there you go. So I'm preaching to the converted already. You obviously know how this works, probably even better than I do. Well, thanks, user. On the I'm having a good day today, scalper, and I needed one. I was getting a bit dejected this week, and I don't know why, because I've had some big losses this week and last week, but they're not. I've had bigger. It's just because I've had that consecutive red days in a row, and I was getting a bit dejected. So now we've got so rather than a flat top, we've got a little bit of a cup and handle here, which is a bullish sign, a bullish pattern. So here's your cup, and here's a little bit of a handle. So this could break upwards. I'm not in England, nor I'm in Dublin. But yeah, the tax man, it come after you in all kinds of ways. The best way to budget for it is when you're taking your profits at the end of each month, you divvy it up 3 ways. A third for me, a third to reinvest, and a third for the tax man. That's the way I always look at it anyway. So I'm always looking at, ideally, I want as much as possible, but ideally I want at least 30k, so that I can take 10 for me, 10 to reinvest, and 10 for the tax man. And normally it works out less than that, because when the accountant's done a little bit, work the magic. But as long as you've budgeted for that, you're not going to get nasty surprises. Veru a buy now. If you can find a nice entry position, so this would have been a nice entry. We got a little bit of a big pullback, and a move back up. So we would have gotten in here at 1310, and 1310's been because I got in at 13. I remember getting in at 1310 earlier in the day. So 1310's a good level. So now you're looking for it is still possibly a good buy, but you've got to get the right entry. You've got to get a safe entry. Right now it's too extended. So you want to wait for a pullback, wait for another pullback, and you get a confirmed pullback. So I'll just zoom in so you can actually see what's going on here. So it's getting a little bit fatigued here in terms of the move up. So if we continue to move up, that's fine. But we're getting this resistance at the $half level. We might get up to the $half level before we get a pullback. What we're waiting for then is a pullback and then a break through the $half. And as we break through the $half, that could be a good time to enter. Just saying. We want a bit of a pullback, a bit of a what's known as coiling. So we gather the momentum to break through that $half. So we want more people looking at this. We want a lot more people. So we're getting a kind of a micro pullback there right now. Got on this. So the next attempt at the $half, we want to break it. There we go. And we look at the volume. You see the volume that came in there? Huge spike in volume for the break of the $half. So if you'd set an order for 1351, you'd have got that, and it moved up. So a lot of people now taking profits for that 20 cent spike off the $half. Now, and I wasn't in it. I'm too busy talking and drinking. And one thing I would advise is don't drink and trade. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and trade. And again, yet again, do as I say, don't do as I do. I can give you great advice, I just don't follow it myself half the time. So I'll be back in with the top one. I'll have to consult Johnny Depp, but I'm not sure if this is actually a mega pint of wine or not. So I wouldn't know if it's considered a mega pint. Does anybody know what a mega pint is? I think the definition pint actually limits the quantity that it can be included. But, you know, go figure. Has anybody been following that ridiculous lawsuit? That ridiculous court case? So now what we're looking for here, because I've been waiting for confirmed pullback, what we're looking for here, next safe entry that you've been looking for will be 1360. So it will be over the 1350 level. But you're looking for this pullback, because you've got this huge extension bar from 1265 all the way up to 1365. So the whole dollar move here. So if we get an extension bar, say 25 cents, 30 cents, something like that, and then the next candle to make a new high, we probably will then get some volume to continue on up. That's the bull flag there. Well, my course videos are engaging there, Alistair. Those not videos, lectures. Let's get the terminology right. And for those of you wondering what I'm talking about, so Alistair is on the course that I put together. If you're wondering what course I'm talking about, check out the link in the link tree. If you go into my profile, there's a link tree. It says the TikTok Trader. And the first link on that link tree is my course, very affordable. Anybody complaining about spending 150 bucks to learn how to trade probably doesn't have the money to trade in the markets in the first place. So I'm not too worried about that. But for 150 bucks a month, you get all the strategies, all the methodologies, all the knowledge and wisdom that I can give you, plus mentorship and a lovely trading community, and all for the inclusive price of $119 plus tax, US, that is. Happy Friday, guys. ahead of the weekend. Well, firm is looking great. Oh, look, I just love seeing the SPY moving like that. That is just such a wonderful sight. When you look at the price maps on Finviz, and it's all green, it's just wonderful to see. This is a firm. The firm isn't even in the top 10 gappers now. It was the top gapper for a long while this morning. That looks, on the 1 minute, that looks on Veru, looks like it's setting up for a lovely bull flag. Look at this huge move up. Get a pop in a moment. And leave my Tinder profile alone. My Tinder profile's fantastic. Hey, baby. Get out from under my desk. You know not to go under my desk. Wires there. I don't want you chewing on them and getting electrocuted. And more importantly, cutting off the bloody broadband stream that I've only just got fixed. $28. 30 cents. Get on the 5 minute. Yeah, 29 is the entry. Question is, will we get the volume follow through for this bull flag break here? Very clean setup. Just need it to break out now. There's some nice volume. Well, we got in, but we didn't get the follow through. That's okay. You want to put 2,500 shares into that. As soon as this low of this one is 1320, so we get out at 1320. Well, 1321 is the low of this candle, so we get out at 1320. Effectively giving it, what did we get in? 34, giving it 13 cents. So normally you get this setup, huge extension bar up, consolidation pullback, and the follow through. The first candle to make a high usually follows through to the upside. That's a bull flag setup. We want to see following through with, no, we don't want to see that. Certainly don't want to see that. Word fake out springs to mind. We'll get the buyers springing in now to bounce that back up. Wanted out at 1320. Cost me an extra 10 cents on the dollar. That's cost me an extra 10 cents on the dollar, but like, I'm in a good place at the moment, so I'm not too worried about that. Dangerous, dodgy, absolutely. Which is why I went to trading the 5 minute. So to look at the 5 minute, trading the 5 minute, and it's the setups are a lot clearer, a lot more reliable. I'll wait for a 5 minute setup now on whatever I'm trading. Would you shut up, you noisy bugger? You're normally noisy, but you're normally snoring. You're nocturnal or something. You're like a cat. You're nocturnal. In the streams, normally listening to you snoring. They don't normally listen to you barking and being a dog. They normally think you're a pig. Oh, sorry to hear that, Selena. That's awful. Ruin your weekend before it's even started. Well, hopefully, you won't suffer too much with it. Hope you're feeling better soon. We've had this range between kind of 1350 and 1250 with Veru for this last 3-4 hours. So watch this down to 1250 and then it should start to rise again. Look at it on the 30-minute chart, you'll see, oh, arrow, that's not going to matter too much. See, you can't really see it there. 15-minute chart, maybe 5-minute for the 2-minute. Yeah, so you got this 1250, 1350. It's been ranging between 1250, a whole dollar range. This is still setting up. It faked me out there, granted, but it's still setting up for a nice move upwards. I'm missing a firm. Firm's looking very nice at the moment. But we're about to. Looks like we could get a high of day. Yeah, we could break today's high of day. Not the pre-market highs, granted, but just going to mark out the pre-market highs just in case we get there in this next half an hour. So 24.20 is the previous session high. Oxy, if anyone was trading Oxy, is recording significant highs at the moment. This is Oxy. Look at it on the 60-minute. It's up there, recording new highs. AMD recording new highs. What did Robin Hood do? Oh, it's still thereabouts. 1070s. AMC kind of died a bit of a death. We're at Rivian. It's slightly above the VWAP. Bumble's above the VWAP. Oh, we've maintained most of the highs of the last few days in a lot of stocks. Paxlovid, don't know it, but I hope it sorts you out there, Selena. Is that one of those newfangled snake oil, clear oil, fix all things from Pfizer? See a bit more volume before I try and trade Veru again. Just broke a new high on the 5 minute. I'm not trusting it because the volume's not there. I want to see a good volume candle. Well, people have been saying that for about 3 years now. It's 2019, but that's a different conversation. The firm's back up in the kind of top 10. 77 million shares traded with the firm. We didn't quite get to that high of day, that 24.20 that we had just after midday market time. Expecting maybe to at least test that. I don't know what I'd do without my taste and smell. Well, smell not so much, but taste for sure. I know they're intrinsically interlinked, but I do love my food. Like you can't tell. I really enjoy my food. That'd be a sentence worse than death for me. It's like, okay, you can live fine, but you can't taste anything. Like, well, what's the point? Food is life. I can imagine cash flow. Do you know what they say? If you've not had COVID yet, it's probably because you've got no friends. I'm thinking I mustn't have friends. Either that, or I've just got a super immune system, or both. I've got a super immune system and no friends. We're getting a bit of a sell-off on the markets now. It's coming into the final half an hour of the market. Leave it alone. Yako. Your hair, leave it alone. I did lose 2 stone. What are you trying to say? Yeah, if you can't taste it. I mean, I cooked a couple of steaks yesterday. They were lovely. A little bit of buttered mash with them, and nice honey and herb sauce with it. It's lovely. Anyway, I digress. That was yesterday's dinner. Well, that's breaking new lows, both on the 5 minute and the 1 minute. I'm going to go back to Beirut, see where we're at with that. We're consolidating around the whole dollar. They like the half and whole dollars have been very significant for Beirut. Yeah. Why not? They cost a couple of steaks. Because you get them in a packet and you're like, well, it's only me and the dog. I'm not going to feed the dog a whole steak. So she got a little bit, but I didn't cook hers. And I had like 1.5 steaks for myself. They come in a packet of 2. So, yes, I did lose 2 stone. I was just over 20 stone at the start of the year. When I took the dog to the vets a couple of weeks ago, I stood on the dog scales and yeah, I've lost 2 stone. So the Affirm chart is looking very similar to the S&P 5 and the Nasdaq that's selling off right now. Oh, I don't want it to do that. The Nasdaq, the SPY is just about to break 400, and the Qs for Nasdaq are just about to they're approaching 300. Let's keep them above those key levels. Doesn't surprise me. Coming into the end of the week, we've had a really good day, a bit of a sell-off into the close. It's not criminal. Did I mention that I've actually lost 2 stone over the last couple of months? I don't know if anybody's interested, but I've not been actively trying to diet, but I've managed to lose 2 stone over the last couple of months. It's you know, take a look go back to my earlier videos from about February time, January, February time, and check the difference. It's amazing. Did I mention I've lost 2 stone? I don't use Tinder in Ireland. It doesn't work for me in Ireland. It works wonders in Miami. Same. So I'm not. I see breaking over 13 again. Rally into the close. Or I'm just going to leave it the way it is. 4,700 is a good day's work. It's small steps, but it eats into that drawdown that I've created for myself this month. Pull up, go 20 minutes to the close. Pull up the new scanner. What's been moving over the last hour? That's been moving over the last hour. Just about to break higher day. Not a huge volatility, not a huge volume though. That's the problem with that one. See where the volume is over the last 5 minutes. Where is everybody trading? AMD? That's where the majority of the volume is at the moment. Ford Motor, huge float though. That's the problem. And the firm's not a small float. It's 208 million shares. Zynga Poker. I remember playing that many years ago. Is that still going? Add another filter here because I just want to get rid of the really low, high float stocks. I want to anything under 250 million. I'm just not gonna. I don't want to know it. Fundamentals. Float. I'll do. That helps me. So affirms the top of the low float stock. So Veru Fisker. Okay. Not huge volume right now, but it's had good volume today. It's moved fairly well, 6% on the day. Butterfly, Havana, Firm, then Veru. So the top two that I've been trading pretty much most of the day. Five-minute high 23.75. 23.75 could be, I'd say 23.60. Last resistance level that we found. We'll get 23.60, 65. Could be interesting. You too, Monster Vision. Have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Firm's looking like it might look to break again. This is why it's important to be able to spot areas of resistance and support. Level 2 helps as well, but you've got to be able to spot them on the chart to be able to document them. There we go, broke over it. I'm not in my bloody montage. Missed my entry now. Just going in small. I don't want to be giving away my profits at the death. I just want to make a quick trade at the death, but I don't want to be giving away my profits. I went for the 5-minute candle to break a new high at the $0.75 level. Didn't quite get the push, but we'll see. 85. For 85. Over this candle, 70. This candle reverses, we get it. waiting for a bit of volume to follow through. That we've got the break of that $0.75 level on volume, but we're not getting the volume follow through. That's the problem. That's okay. Moving up slowly. It is power hour, it's not the open. There we go, I'll take $100 profit on that. Why not? No, actually, Veru doesn't look dead. He's bounced on the VWAP. Looking at Veru, we just bounced on the VWAP. We've got this $13 resistance level. If it breaks above $13, it could rally into the into the close. Veru's not dead yet, but look for what I'd look for is on the 5 minute. You're looking for break of 1307. So we've got a high of 1307 on this candle. So the high of this candle is 99. So yeah, so 1307. Ideally, if it breaks above 13 again with volume, it might be worth a shot. Thirteen's a significant level. What else is moving into the right? Let's have a look. What's moved over the last 15 minutes? I'm looking at multiple scanners here. So you can only see on TikTok, you can only see 2 of the scanners, and on YouTube, I think you're only seeing 3. But I've got 5 different scanners up here, plus the news, plus the signals. So overload, information overload. Might get another little bounce on the VWAP here, or for Veru, and retest that whole dollar level. What I would say is if it breaks a new low, so the low of this candle is 79, so call it 1280. If this breaks below 1280, it's probably going to sell off. Okay, on the 1 minute. I'm pulling back from when we sold. So this is finding support at 1280. And we're looking at 1281 is the double low here, which is the low of the previous 5 minute candle. At 1281 a couple of times. Breaks below 1280, just move on. It's because that's below the VWAP now. We really want to see it bounce on the VWAP and make a move up. Come back to Veru later. That's just broke below. So it broke with a bit of a flush too. So let's go back to a firm. We got it here up at 2390. Just made a new high, but it didn't follow through. Or volume. Let's see if we get the follow through now. I know some people don't trade. Don't even trade the charts. I know some people that all they do is trade level 2. I don't think I could do that myself. I like the combination of both, but each to their own. Oh, don't worry, Darren. I'll be having a couple of drinks and a bit of a flutter to the game tomorrow. And come on, it's the Chavs. We're going to beat the Chavs. We beat them in the last cup final. We'll beat them in this cup final. Yeah, it was a close game, but we're going to beat them. You've got to think positive. So, cup final tomorrow. I'll be watching that. Okay, so that looks to be selling off now. Let's have a look. What else have we got that's 10 minutes? Robin Hood. No. Roblox. No. Bumble. Selling off. I think everything's just selling off into the close. Bit of profit taking. This is the Nasdaq. This is the S&P 500. So we're getting a bit of, look at it on the 60 minute, or 30 minute even. Bit of a profit taking coming down. Yeah. And after such a good rally today, don't mind a little bit of profit taking into the close of the week. Well deserved. Happy to say I'm going to be taking profit into the weekend as well. So, well, watch this space. I think it's all decided this weekend, Alistair. If the way I'm looking at it is, if West Ham can get a point, I think City will bottle it against Villa. That's my opinion. Goal difference won't come into it. People are saying, well, it might come down to goal difference. No, it won't. Goal difference won't come into it. If City drop points against West Ham, they'll drop points against Villa. That's the way I'm looking at it. So if West Ham don't take anything against City, then the league's done. So it comes down to this weekend. We'll beat Southampton next week. I'm confident of that, unless it's already done, and then who cares? But we're still on for the treble. We need to win it tomorrow, and then win the Champions League in a couple of weeks, and see how that goes. Well, exactly. I wouldn't bet on City getting 4 points either. So if West Ham take a point at the weekend on Sunday, I think Villa will take at least a point on the last day of the week, last day of the season. I think City will bottle it on the last day of the season if they lose points, drop points on Sunday. You're stuck in Veru. Where are you stuck at, Michael? Let me look at the 1 minute for you. So if it's below the VWAP, so it's now in downwards trending, so it's below the VWAP. Where are you stuck? What's your average cost? Absolutely champions, and we've got unfinished business with Madrid, so we need to beat Madrid in Paris. He's making a comeback now, Veru. You might be okay, Michael. I don't know what point you bought into Veru. $13.23. Ah, no, you're knackered. It's not coming. It's not coming back to $13.23. I'm sorry. You've got two options. You come away from the tripod. Oh, what's it? Rosie Mott. As I was saying there, Michael, you've got no, don't keep it till Monday. Absolutely not. Just see what happens. Keep a watch on it. Right now, it may. I don't know if you can trade out of hours. Michael's on the. Are you on the course, Michael? I think you're on the course, aren't you? But this might get back over 13, which is what I'm watching it for. I don't think it's going to get up to 13.23. I think we might run out of time. It might get over to 13.23. It might rally after hours. So if you're prepared to risk it, after hours, and you've got after hours trading, just watch it into the close and see which way it goes. I'm thinking this might rally after hours. So you might get 13.23 after the close. We're not, what, 3 minutes to the close? I think it's a little bit. It's going to be a little bit tough. You might get there. You're not too far off. 23 cents. You might get there, but I think it's probably going to move into the close and then rally. So if you're prepared to risk it into the close, why not? Hey, look, we've all been guilty of that, Alistair. Yours truly, especially. So this goes back to the risk management piece on the course, though, Michael, is that you have your cut-off point, cut it. I know it's difficult. You think, okay, if I hold it a bit longer, it'll turn around. If you hold it a bit longer, it might just flush and continue falling. At least if you cut it and it turns around, you can get back in. That's that's the mentality that you've got to have. I mean, you look at me earlier with Veru. I held on to him a little, but I just didn't hold on to him too long. I held on to him longer than I wanted to, but I went in bigger size. So I dug a $7,000 hole, and as it was, because I cut my losses, I was able to claw that back throughout the day. If I'd held it, I would have been like, I probably got margin called. I'd probably been about 20 odd thousand down at one stage. So I've got my fingers crossed for you, Michael. High of this was 13.05. I might get in for a break of 13.05. This little pullback. And hopefully it will rally to 13.23 for my Michael. This is the 5-minute candle. It wasn't great. That's okay. It's not all's not lost. We've got a little bit of support. The whole dollar support. I'm rooting for you here, Michael. Well, I think we're all rooting for you, Michael. Not just me, but I think we're all rooting for Michael. We all want to get up to 13.23 so Michael can break even. Ideally, move up after hours. We've got 20 seconds into the close. So if we move up after hours, you can make a bit of money in the ascendancy. I hope you've got after hours trading, Michael, because you've got 5 seconds left. And here we go. There's the close. There's the close. Which way is it going to go for Michael? We'll watch this. We'll not end the stream just yet. We want to see Michael make a bit of money yet. If this breaks the VWAP, you need to get out. The thing is now with Veru is you're going to get wider spreads because it's in the close. It's after hours. So if it gets up to 13.23, you're going to need it to get up to beyond 13.30 because right now the spreads are 6 cents. Well, they were 6 cents or 2 cents, but I mean, as it moves up, you're going to get that widening spreads, and anywhere between kind of 5 and 10 cent spreads are going to be normal for Veru after hours. Well, it's not looking that weak to me right now, Alistair. It's not looking weak enough to short it for me after hours. I'm just going to keep my eye on this one. I'm not going to take any more trades, personally. I think the entertainment here is everybody's rooting for Michael. Got a dozen people in the TikTok stream and everybody on YouTube all rooting for Michael. I'll break that $13 and move up very, very quickly. 13.25, 13.30, and allow him to get out. Let's hope it goes well for you, Michael. Like I say, I would draw the personally. Next candle to make a new low. Definitely out. You win some, you lose some. Absolutely, cash flow. Absolutely. I've been saying that for months. There you go. Oh, ouch. Hang on. I almost broke 13. What's the spread on this now? It's look, we're still on the 2 cents. This is a fairly tight spread just yet. Is this going to break 13 for you, Michael? All right. Okay. Well, I hope it works out for you over the weekend. So you know, I know after I was trading, it's I think you're probably right. You were right to kind of cut your losses at 13.03. I probably would have chopped it as well, there, Alistair, if I'm being honest. Look, I'm just going to hold the stream open a little bit. Let's see if Michael gets his wish and it breaks 13.23. Let's see if he's going to be kicking himself. You can't be asleep. You were just barking 5 minutes ago. That dog falls. She could fall asleep on a washing line. Well, to be honest, I'm happy with today's gains. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if everybody had a good trading day, but I'm happy with my gains. So I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to say have a good weekend. Enjoy the football if you're a football fan. If you're not, enjoy your weekend, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you all back at it before the market opens on Monday. I'll be back at it at 12. I'll be back at it at 1 p.m. London, Dublin time, and that'll be 8 a.m. East Coast time. So all the best, guys, and enjoy your weekend. Really appreciate you joining.